Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business.
Francesca, hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, Paul?
I'm great. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to jump on the Leader Experience podcast and sharing some of your experiences. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me. I love to chat, so anytime.
Love it. So just for the audience, just share with them, what is it that you do in your professional life?
So I have been in business for 12 years. And I'm Italian originally, and I live in Australia, and I would have never in my whole life thought that I was ever going to start a business. I didn't think that I was the right personality for it, and instead it fits me like a sock, which is fantastic. So I run an agency. We find incredible talented virtual assistants from the Philippines for our clients here in Australia or in the world, but we prefer to work with Australian and New Zealand clients because the time zone works really well, and we don't have to have the VAs working night shift, and that's what we did. And it was like a miracle that we started this business, because during COVID we had another business and it went down really bad, and I had to pivot very fast, and we did, and thank goodness we didn't have to fire anybody, and we were able to switch around and create an even bigger business now and more freedom, which is fantastic.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So share with me. It's very interesting. Many people that are running their business had a passion to get into their own business from a young age. So clearly, when you were 12 and someone said, Francesca, what are you going to be when you grow up? You didn't say this. So tell me, what would you have said then? And what was the journey that took you to be doing this now?
That is a very good question. Look, I'm someone that get bored very easily. So I didn't have one idea the whole time. I would just keep changing as things will grow. So I remember that when I met this lady that was doing like an interior designer of my bedroom, I was like, I want to become like her. Like every time I meet someone that it was inspiring to me, I would say I want to be like them. But I never thought or believed that I was smart enough to start a business, because my teacher used to tell me that I was in Italian school. So they were saying, oh, you're horrible in English, you're horrible in languages, you're never going to succeed at that, so don't even try. So I was like, well, then what do I do? She told me that I should just go into secretary school, because all I was going to do was become a secretary, nothing else. And that was not true, but I believed her for many years. So when I came to Australia, I started a career. Well, I continued my career in hotels, and I was working as a receptionist. And to be honest, I liked it. I loved it. I was enjoying it. But what happened is that there was not a career path. Like I was enjoying the growth. I was enjoying like, what's next? What can I do next? And there was not much a path because I didn't have a university degree, and so I kept hitting the ceiling of every position that I had because of these university degrees that I didn't have, and I didn't want to have, because I was not very good at studying. So years later, I started the personal development journey. I've learned that whatever you put in your mind, you can create. And I was like, wait, what? So what my teacher told me is not true? It's not true that I'm not smart? Okay, let's try. And so I created a life coaching business. And for 9 months, I proved myself right. I proved myself that I was silly, that I didn't know better, and I made $120 in 9 months. And then reality kicked in. I didn't have any more money. I didn't have any more savings, and I had to either go back to a job or I had to give it a proper go. Because to be honest, I wasn't really trying. I was just sitting there hoping that things will work out, and that someone would knock on my door and say, can you coach me?
And no, I'm listening. This is amazing. Yeah. And so you're hoping someone's going to knock on the door and say, can you coach me? And then what happened? What did you do?
You're like, now what's next?
The suspense.
Well,
yeah.
My brother gave me an idea. He said, because I was doing a lot of courses, and I was investing a lot of courses, and I didn't have any more money to do courses. And all I wanted to do was study, because it was a different way of studying, personal development. Like you go inside of yourself, you understand stuff. I was like, I loved it. And I was like, I want to do more courses. I want to study more. And my brother was like, well, you finished your money. What are you going to do? How are you going to pay? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, what do you mean you don't know? What can you give them? I was like, what do you mean? What can I give them? I've got nothing. And they're like, no, no, but what value can you add to their business? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know anything about business. Like I was completely, I couldn't even think. And then he said to me, you go to all these events. Why don't you create events for them? And I was like, but how do I get people there? And he's like, you'll learn, you'll figure out. I was like, oh my goodness, you're brave. And I tried. And Paul, the first event, I had 115 people at SVP and
Wow.
45 turned out. And it was an incredible event. I didn't speak. I was not a speaker at the time. I was terrified of speaking. And my coaches got $25,000 of business. And they were like, do you want a job as a marketing manager? And I was like, yeah, why not? And my brother was like, don't take it. You need to do this for your own business. And I was like, oh, wow. And it was incredible because I continued doing this type of events and people continue coming. And then they were asking me, can you coach me? Can you coach me? And I was like, well, let me check my empty calendar. Of course, I got no clients. And so I went from zero to $5,000 a month. And it was incredible. Like I did not think that could happen. And then all these other coaches were telling me, can you teach me? I was like, me teaching you? I just started. Like I just made my first $5,000 a month. I was feeling like a fraud, right? I cannot teach you. I don't know. And they were like, teach me, please. And so we did a 2-day workshop for free for like 5 of my best friends. And they were like, I implemented the strategy and they also got fully booked. They were like, you have created a strategy event. So with Meetup and Facebook group, Facebook connections, you're making this work and you need to teach people. So I created the Mafia Academy. It
Nice.
stands for Meetup and Facebook International Academy. And from there, it's history. $1.5 million business. It was incredible.
Wow. So I just double tap on a few things. Firstly, how incredibly irresponsible was that teacher? You know, I just the impact that people can have on other people, especially at their formative stages, and especially when they have a guide or fiduciary responsibility, but a guidance relationship to the person. It's such an honor and a privilege, but it needs to be handled so carefully because you have such a big impact. So I'm just, I'm really both happy and inspired that you cast that off and stood up and charted your own path. I think it's amazing.
Paul, I believe that everything happened for a reason, and yes, she could have been more tactful. She could have been more attentive. But I think that in my life, my dad has always been very tough on me as well, and I think that has created the woman that I am today. So it's helped me become. You know what? I'll show you. And I actually have been like, I've built 2 businesses to 1.5 million and this one to 2 million in less than 3 years. And it's like, I would love to go back to her and said, here we go. What did you say about my English? I created 2 business in English in a foreign country. So, I would love, my dream now, Paul, is to speak to schools. And actually, I'm having my first kids interaction on next Friday, which I'm really proud of. And yeah, like to tell kids, no matter what they tell you, it's not their responsibility to make you believe in yourself. It's your responsibility.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So good. So good. And so in your journey now, you must have a lot of EAs working with you.
Yeah, I've got one EA working with me full time. Thank goodness, because I am not very good at emails. And I used to have a lot of unread emails, and I didn't have a very patience to go and reply to everybody. So she is in charge of that, thank goodness. And yeah, so we've got 14 other staff members in the business. So who does marketing, who does HR, who does customer service, like they're all in different departments. And we have a business manager here in Australia, in Brisbane, and she, thank goodness, is on to help me again to get the business organized and get everything on track. And then we have 65 amazing virtual assistants working for our clients. And we just reached 80 clients this week, which is really exciting.
Congratulations. That is
Thank
a
you.
real milestone. Nicely done. And it's like you say, that's great growth.
Yeah. Look, it's been a great growth. There is other companies that are my competitors that are growing faster than us. There's some of them that already reach 1,000, some of them already reach 300. And I look at that and sometimes I wonder, am I playing small? What is happening? But you know what? We have created such a beautiful community for our VAs and for our clients that I like the pace that we're growing. And, we're also watching the finances, because you can grow very fast and then have no cash flow and then have to borrow money. And so we're doing step by step and slowly growing. And it's been very steady. This year, our goal is to reach 111 clients. And again, we've got a goal every month to reach. And we do it with my team. We do it together. We're all in charge of that. We've got KPIs and we've got beautiful, present for everybody that reaches that goal. They help the business reach that goal. And so, yes, we have grown steady. We could have done it faster. But the thing is, I'm also in a time of my life that I want to focus more on my own family. I don't want to spend, my whole, like I used to do in the other business, 48 hours, 60 hours a week in the business. I work only 20 hours a week. And that to me is more important than reach the $5 million business overnight. So, yeah, I think that sometimes it's also important to ask ourselves, what do we actually want, rather than just keep growing, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So, and really that's what business is all about at the end of the day, is getting clear on, what energizes you, the value you want to give to other people, and how you want to craft your life, right? That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome. And it's great you've got that clarity. A lot of people get swept up in what at the end of the day is vanity numbers. They're not about success numbers or quality of life numbers. They're vanity numbers. And so I'm glad that you've got that clarity to focus on the things that matter most to you.
I love what you're saying, Paul. It's the only reason why I know it is because I've done it in the other business.
Yeah.
So I got stuck in that vortex of more. I kept hiring people. I kept growing and growing. And then the universe went, fine, let me give you COVID so that you cannot run any more events and you cannot keep growing without looking at your numbers. You just have to stop. And it was fascinating because it was ego. To be honest, it was ego. I didn't even care about the profit. I would just care about the number. I was like, I need to reach $1 million. I need to tell people that I make $1 million. And it was so ego driven. And I mean, again, I don't blame that version of myself, because it was my first business and I didn't know any better. But in hindsight, now our major concern is for me and for my whole team, for them to work in urgency, for us to have a process, have a system, and trying to have a more of peaceful business rather than a heart attack every 5 seconds, and money, right? So it's important that everybody's paid fairly, that everybody feel that as the business grows and succeed, they grow and succeed financially and also time-wise. So for me, those are most important now. Is that the right thing to do? No, everybody's different. I've got a friend that she's like, 10 million, I'm getting to 10 million. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Go for it. That's fantastic. And everybody's different and it's okay. And I'm part of this group, EO, Entrepreneur Organization. And I love it because they help me understand me. Like they're all about growth and there's like massive businesses in that group. And they were like, why do you want to get to 5 million? And I was like, well, because everybody does it. Like there was like a lot of not me. Like that's what you should do as a business. You should always want to grow, because if it doesn't grow, it dies. And I'm like, but I'm still growing, but I don't have to grow at a level that is going to affect my personal life.
Yeah, that's awesome. So glad you're in EO and getting benefits from that. That's awesome. We partner with EO as well, and I used to be on the board and member as well. So yeah, it's great that you're on that journey. It's very cool, very cool indeed. So with say 14 or 16 staff and then all of those EAs, tell me, what's the biggest leadership lesson that you've earned, as I like to say, over the last couple of years in this business?
There's so many, but one of them is to create a culture that people want to be part of. And it seems easy, but it's actually very competitive, especially in our industry. There is VAs getting poached on LinkedIn from everywhere. They're getting offered more money from everyone. So one of the lessons that I learned from actually EO, how can you create a business that people want to stay, the people rave about, the people that work in, they're like, I have got the best job in the world. And so, we've got to be inspired by thinking, how can we create that? And it's easy to get stuck into the day-to-day little mistakes and little problems that, business happens every day, right? There's problems everywhere. But if we focus on that, we're going to lose the bigger picture of how can I thrive? How can I get my team to thrive, to want it to grow? So one of the things that we do a lot is training, and not just with me, because it's like a parent telling the kids, you should read this book. They're gonna be like, no, but they hear it from someone that got inspired by it. They're like, oh yeah, I should read that book. I'm like, I just told you. So I am not the one inspiring them. I get other people from your other members, other people that inspire me, and ask them to please come and talk to my team. And that creates that growth mentality. One of our values is we're all about leveling up. And it's important that I need to help them understand that. I need to help them, encourage them to grow, but I don't have to do it myself because I have to put my ego aside, right? The other day I had a speaker that was talking about how to deal with stress, and they were telling me like, I was amazing. It was, and I was like, my ego was like, I've been teaching you for years, right? I had to put my ego aside because it's not about me. It's about how they're going to hear the message. And so I had to learn that, because at the beginning I was like, the business can save money and I can teach them that because I've studied personal development. I know this stuff, but that's not the message that they want to hear. They want to hear it from someone else. It's important for me to put my ego aside and let them learn the way that it works, not the way that I want to teach them.
I think that's awesome and great reflections and learning. And so tell me, when you think about the things that you hear as the most common recurring problems from your clients when they come to you, what are the businesses that you struggle with? That you support, what do they struggle with most commonly?
So there is two type of businesses that we have. We have like a bigger company, and we have a small solopreneur that gets the VA one-on-one. So I'll tell you, there are different problems. So I'll tell you both. So the bigger company usually gets a virtual assistant for one of the managers, and the managers are drowning, they're struggling, so they get a VA to support that person. And the biggest problem that the company does is that they don't give leadership task and leadership tools to this manager for them to succeed with the virtual assistant. And so then the virtual assistant is stuck in between us, then we put a supervisor to help them, and they're like, supervisor, the manager is not talking to me. What do I do? How do I know if I'm in the right track, I'm in the wrong track, if I'm doing the right thing, if when this is important, what's urgent, what's priority? Like, they're completely kept in the blind. And that's because the manager doesn't have the emotional tools and also the technical tools to work with someone abroad. They are used to maybe leading the team in-house, but they don't know how to do Zoom meetings, how to train and work with someone overseas. And so very difficult. So we always offer training for them to be like, let's not set you up for failure. Let's help your managers to do that. So that's the biggest mistake there. But for clients that are smaller companies, that are solopreneurs, the struggle for them is that they are not finding the time to spend with the VA. So they want the VA to do things. They want the VA to take things off the shoulder, but they just physically don't spend time with them. So it's very similar, but it will be time. So no matter how good someone is, no matter how experienced someone is, if you hire them here locally or overseas, we have to spend time with them. And that's unfortunately something that it's across every industry and it's across every hiring. And people assume, oh no, if they got experience, they should know. They will know about how to do the job, but they need to understand how your business runs that process, how your business does things. So that's, I think, the biggest thing. I've got in my book, The Power of Delegation, I've got a chapter called "Have You Broken Your VA?" So there's people, so funny, right? There's people that start and they go, my VA is amazing. I love my VA. Oh my gosh. And 3 months later, they're like, my VA makes so many mistakes. I'm so annoyed. And it's like, okay, but wait, have you ever been happy with your VA? And if they say yes, I'll be like, okay, have you been spending time with your VA? Oh no, she's so good. I don't need to spend time with them. That's exactly why you need to continue spending time with the person, because if not, they're going to disconnect. It's like normal, right? If you are in a relationship with a partner and you stop going on dates and you just, everybody live a separate life, eventually they're going to find someone else that's more interesting, right? And that's the same, exactly the same.
I think that's awesome, great quality sharing. And so I've got two last questions for you. What's the most common core activities that your VAs provide for the clients? What do people ask them to do most of the time?
The biggest one is EA, so executive assistant, managing the emails, answering people, finances, like all the things that even personal tasks, like my VA, my EA does my Airbnb, literally manages all of it. So like this is the biggest one because sometimes in business we have all the people in all the departments, but we always put ours last and it doesn't help. So we always try to help clients to understand that. The other one that is quite big is admin. So just back end work. So onboarding clients, supporting clients, creating reports and PDFs and like back end things that we've got like a to-do list and is always there because nobody in the business has got time to implement it. And so those are the things that usually clients get. But again, it depends on the side of the business. If it's a new business, they need a generalist, which is someone that can wear 20,000 hats and do everything. And if it's established business, they need specialist, which is like, I need a marketing person that runs the marketing. I need someone in customer service. I need someone in orders. I need someone in finances. Like it will be different specialized. So it depends. It depends on what the size of the businesses.
Right. Interesting. That's awesome. Okay. Last question. We'll keep ourselves on time. Can I ask you you can answer this question looking through your personal life, your business, or with the world at large? So look in your crystal ball and tell me what's in the Francesca crystal ball for the next 12 months.
Oh, the next 12 months, my partner and I bought a house we are renovating. So that's it's happening at the moment. And
Very exciting.
then,
Congratulations.
yes, exciting and a little bit like, it's going to be a lot of work. But that's intriguing. It's intriguing for me to do something new that we've never done before. We're also planning to do an Italy trip at the end of the renovation to celebrate, which will be amazing. Business wise, look, we're just tomorrow going to be 15 staff members in EVS and 65 VAs. So we are going to go to Philippines again to do a conference and to bring them all together and hopefully together be able to reach the 111 clients in the business, which is really exciting.
That's awesome. And is there anything in the world at large you think you see in your crystal ball?
Oof. Look, the world is. The other day, I was talking to someone actually that we were chatting about what is happening in America and the disaster, that tragedy that just happened, and we were talking about it, and we said, look, it's difficult. Life is getting to a point that you can focus on all the things that are happening and worry about the future, or we can go and focus on where we're at now, the people that we're impacting, and trying to be a better version of ourselves to impact who we can touch. And that is what I would love to see. And what I've always said to everybody, use the platforms that we have to spread positivity and to spread support and love and educating people rather than bring hate. So I hope that more people take responsibility of what they're putting out there on social media and trying to leave hate aside and just run with love.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Focus on the things that you can control and create and bring positivity. That's if
Thank you, Paul. You translated what I wanted to say exactly perfect.
If everybody did that, the world would have a great momentum, wouldn't it?
Yes.
100%. 100%. Listen, this has been great. Is there anything else you'd like to share with me?
Paul, I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for inviting me to this. I absolutely love people that like you. You're doing exactly that. Like you're spreading knowledge and information and inspiring other people that are wondering, why is this business not working for me? Or maybe they're going, how can I grow it? So thank you for spending your time for doing this because it's important.
My absolute pleasure. And it's been an absolute delight having you. You've got a great energy and a great outlook, and you're leading your business in a way that is good for everybody involved. So you're looking to help your clients, help your staff, and have balance. And so I think that's amazing. Congratulations, and continue on your positive upward journey.
Thank you so much, Paul. I do my best, but that doesn't mean that my business is perfect or I'm a perfect leader. I make a lot of mistakes a lot of the time. So, but we do our best. That's for sure.
That is part of the process. Have you ever seen this? Final thing, final little question. Have you ever seen that Roger Federer speech that he gave at one of the university graduations? Track it down. It's amazing. He jumps on and he says to the students, "Listen, a lot of people, especially when they're young, worry about getting everything right. And obviously he's got one of the best track records in anything, but certainly in tennis. And he quotes some of his really impressive statistics, like number of matches won and championships won and weeks at number one and all this stuff. And he says that if you look at the number of points that he won versus lost, his points were something like it's either 44 or 48% lost. So almost half of every single point he's ever played, he's lost.
Wow.
He said, so the difference between, winning is nothing to do with never making mistakes. We make so many mistakes and so just a really, really interesting perspective from him.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah,
Do
go
you have
track
it?
that down.
Can you send it to me?
I will send it to you. Yes,
I
no
would
problem.
love to watch it because it's
Yeah.
so true, right?
Yeah.
And this is the difference between, if you want to call it success, I don't really like to put myself in the successful box because I'm successful in some things and I'm not successful in other things for sure. But if we're talking about business success, which again, anyway, let's just say with this word success if we want, it's full of mistakes. And this is the thing, right? People that choose to continue with the business, they have to accept that it's part of the journey, and perfectionism has to go, because if we just wait for everything to be perfect, someone else has done your idea and already sold it and already made $1 million business out of it. So it's gonna be too late. So it's like, go for it one step at a time, make a mistake, fix it, continue, and just focus on that. And yesterday I was chatting with someone, they were like, oh wow, you got your numbers right. Like, you know exactly how many, 111. Why 111 this year? I'm like, because I've done a plan. Everybody knows exactly we need to get 9 clients this month. We know how many we're gonna lose. We've got KPI for the department. Business is a number game. If you just focus on the number and you just keep going, nothing can go wrong. It's like a no-brainer. And it's simpler than what we make it to be.
I totally agree. So perseverance over perfection. Mm-hmm.
Ah, see, you
Love it.
You are like amazing at summarizing things. I love it.
Thanks.
I'm here like flapping around for half an hour, and you go boom in 2 phrases. I'm like, come on, I love
it. Well, it's so much easier when you get to listen and summarize than create from scratch.
Love it.
So
the team.
So totally. Listen, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much. I look forward to speaking to you again, and I will send you the Roger Federer video I was talking to, and I will talk to you very soon. Have an awesome day.
Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Keep listening to him. I love it. I'm going to download it today, actually, your podcast, and I'm going to keep listening.
All right. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this amazing podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this, you're definitely going to love my Facebook group where I've got over 11,000 people in it, and they're all business owners successful like you. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge, and in there I do classes every week, and I get to interview my clients, and I get to teach you all the things that I've done to get my business to 100K plus a month. So I look forward to have you in there. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge Facebook group in Facebook. I look forward to see you there. Ciao.